remember meeting my husband long before mobile phones were permanently attached to us. Back then, we relied on being physically together and on lengthy telephone calls. Every time the phone rang, my heart skipped a beat. Nowadays, contact is possible 24/7. You can stay in that heightened state of emotional bliss around the clock, floating off to sleep after receiving a lovely message and waking up to find another one waiting. The feeling of being someone's special person, of having the promise of a future together, building hopes and dreams, it's powerful. That's why I can never truly imagine the pain, hurt and humiliation of finding out that it was all an elaborate trick to steal my money. Unfortunately, in my role as a Protect officer, I work with on average 5 to 6 romance fraud victims every week. The financial loss can range anywhere from $500 to $500,000, yet one thing remains the same. Every victim carries a heavy sense of blame, as though it's somehow their fault. But they are victims of a cruel and manipulative crime. They didn't ask for this. Every case is different, but my priority is always to gain the trust and be a friend in a time of need, and this takes patience. Victims often tell me, I don't seem like I work for the police, and I take that as a compliment. My job is to listen, to be honest, and to stand beside them. Some conversations are harder than others, especially when victims expect an investigation, an arrest, or their money back. And they deserve all of this, but the reality is I can't promise it. I've been so fortunate to meet and work with many amazing Protect officers along this journey. It's invaluable to share ideas and to visit other forces. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. If you see something working well elsewhere, adapt it to suit your style. Perhaps the best advice I can give to anyone working with victims is this. Know what support is out there. Fraud investigation and victim support is far bigger than the police. Often victims are too frightened or ashamed to even tell their banks. If that's the case, do it for them. Help your victims take small steps. Most banks have signed up to the Vulnerable Victim Notification, which allows us to make them aware of the full situation, not just the movement of money. Many of our victims have also received long-term emotional and practical support through victim services, helping them cope and recover. My colleagues often say I care too much. Is that a bad thing? I'm always conscious of how lonely romance fraud victims feel. It haunts them. They feel utterly alone, though we know they're not. I can provide practical help and a listening ear, but I don't know what it exactly feels like. That's why one of the most valuable things for victims is hearing from others who have lived through it. I regularly work with Anna Rowe at Love Said, who shares her first-hand knowledge of how devastating this crime can be. By working together, we can empower romance fraud survivors to take back control and help them navigate their healing journey.